Hello everyone. We're going to be working on some upper body strength today and some really great drills to help you build that upper body strength, also flexibility and mobility in your shoulders for forearm stands. Okay, so we'll just begin rolling the shoulders forwards, connecting with your breath, lengthening your spine, and changing the direction. Relaxing the shoulders down and back, feel the chest opening up, and then rolling the neck, slow big circles. Noticing if there's any tension in your neck. And changing the direction. And coming back to center. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Feel the shoulders lifting and just holding here, palms facing each other. Noticing your ribs expanding and relaxing on the exhale. Interlocking your palms together, pushing your palms up towards the ceiling, and then creating big circles behind the head, palms still facing up. Bringing those hands behind the head. Space between your chin and chest. And changing the direction. Coming back to center, pushing the palms back up, looking up towards the hands, softening your gaze, and releasing the arms down, interlocking your hands behind your back, pressing the palms together so that there isn't a space between your hands, and tucking your chin down, lifting those hands up slightly behind you. Keep the back straight. Allow the breath to flow freely. And release the hands. Inhale, reaching those arms back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cactus, arms to the side. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, cactus, arms. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Interlocking your hands behind your head. Deep breath in, chest open, elbows out to the sides. On your exhale, chin to chest, squeeze the elbows towards each other, rounding the spine. Inhale, opening those arms out to the sides, lengthening the spine. Exhale, rounding the shoulders, rounding the back. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, rolling down. Inhale, rolling up. Opening the chest, lifting the chest up towards the sky, looking up with eyes open or closed, elbows out to the sides. And relaxing your hands down, fingertips pressing down into the ground behind you, shoulders back, arching the back as you lift your chest, lengthening the neck back. Think of creating space in the front of your body. And relax, hands on your knees, rolling the shoulders forwards and back, loosening up those shoulders and arms. Torso circles, drawing the belly in as you roll back, pushing it out as you roll forwards. And changing the direction. Half Lord of the Fish, placing your right knee forwards, down on the ground, stepping that left foot over, either squeezing the knee into your chest with your right arm or bringing the elbow across over to the other side, palm open, fingers pointing straight up, left hand behind you. Try to lower both glutes down into the mat, and then looking over your left shoulder. Don't hold the breath. And release, change sides, swapping legs, stepping that right foot over the left leg, left elbow across the knee or hugging the knee towards your chest, palm open, spinal twist, looking over the right shoulder, level those glutes down. Creating space between the shoulders and your ears. And release, coming into a child's pose on your hands and your knees. So knees out to the side, toes together. Drop the hips back, stretch the arms forward, relax the forehead down, crawling the fingers away from you. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And pressing the fingertips down, elevating those wrists up like spider hands to deepen your child's pose stretch. And walking the hands over to one side, feel that side body stretch. Forehead still moving down towards the ground between the arms. And walking the hands over to the other side. Coming back to center now, we really want to create some openness in our shoulders for our forearm stance or puppy pose. Knees hip width apart, feet also hip width apart, tops of the feet pressing down. Focus on your hip bones staying over the knees as you stretch your arms forwards, either resting the forehead down or the chest and the chin as you look between the hands. And just checking back to see what the hips are doing. You don't want to look like this. You also don't want to look like this. So hip bones over the knees. And breathe. If you hold a lot of tension in your shoulders, this can be quite an uncomfortable pose. But it's so good for you. And lifting your chest up, staying down on your forearms, but bringing your elbows underneath the shoulders. Scapular push-ups, drop the chest, feel the shoulder blades squeezing towards each other, and then letting it go, spreading the shoulder blades. So your belly doesn't change, it's all in between the shoulders. Dropping the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades in. Imagine you're holding a pen between the shoulder blades and letting it go. Connecting with your breath on each movement, breathing in, breathing out. Keep the elbows under the shoulders, hands grounded, spreading your fingertips, knuckles pressing down. And then ground the hands, tuck the toes, walk the hands slightly forwards to lift your hips up to your down dog, working those heels down towards the mat. Feet hip width apart, engaging the quads, armpits facing the toes, rolling forwards to your plank. Shoulders over the wrists, heels over the toes, engaging your legs. Use your toes to shift the shoulders forwards for chaturanga. Elbow creases facing forwards. Keep the elbows stacked over the wrists. Inhale, cobra, roll the spine up, pull the hands towards your elbows in at your sides. Exhale, lower the chest, tuck the toes, leading with your hips up and back to your down dog. 2 more times, forwards to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. And last time, forwards to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. You need to loosen up those hamstrings to get the legs straight in your inversions. Walking the hands towards the feet. Stretching out the hamstrings a little bit more. Holding your elbows, moving those elbows towards the toes. Engaging the quads. It's okay if your knees are bent, just gently pulsing those knees down towards the toes. Gently warming up those leg muscles, stretching them out, and hold. Release your arms, bringing your hands behind the ankles, elbows wrapping behind the knees. Draw the belly in and up, chest towards your thighs, forehead towards the shins or in between the legs. It's really important to do these warm-up stretches before entering any yoga pose, such as an inversion. We call it a peak pose. You have to warm up and slowly get there. Don't just jump right in, or you can injure yourself. And releasing the ankles, grounding the hands down in front of the toes, relaxing the neck, walking the hands forwards, back to your down dog. So from our down dog, we're going to lower the elbows down into a dolphin pose. So our hands are shoulder width apart, elbows are also shoulder width apart and underneath the elbows. If you can, lower those heels down. And then just making sure you have enough space. Just move from your dolphin, walking the feet back into a forearm plank. Keep the shoulders strong, the core engaged, the legs engaged, and then lifting those hips, walking the toes towards you, back to your dolphin. So just slowly at your own pace, walking back to your forearm plank and back to your dolphin. Dropping the hips down, lifting the hips up, firing up the core, the upper body. And just doing 5 more at your own pace. 4 more. 3, 2, smile. And last one. Lower the hips down, Sphinx pose, take a deep breath. Elbows under the shoulders. Gently engage the glutes, feel the tailbone moving down towards the heels. And then making your way back to your dolphin pose, tuck the toes, lift the hips, strong core. Now you want to have the heels down, lifting the heels up as you move your nose forwards towards your wrists or hands, and then lower the heels down, forwards and back. The head stays off the mat, so on the shoulders and those toes and heels. You got this. Just 3 more times. Lower the knees down, stretch it out, bringing your hips down towards the heels, cleansing breath. And just soften into those shoulders. And then making your way back to your dolphin, lift the hips, walk the toes close towards your elbows, and then lifting that right leg up nice and high, and hold. Check to see your elbows are still under the shoulders for support. The foundation is really important. And changing sides, left leg up. Think of the hip moving over the shoulders, straighten the leg. Head off the mat. And lower the foot down, come down onto your knees, just stretch it out in that child's pose. Forehead resting down. Cleansing breath. Then make sure you have a wall nearby for safety reasons, but also for the first few drills we do need to use the wall for support as we enter an L shape. So for L shape, you want to make sure that you are 1 leg's distance away. So just bringing 1 leg forwards towards the wall, placing a hand down where your hip is. Keep the hand there to mark the spot where both your hands need to go. It always feels like the hands are too close to the wall when you're making your way up, but they're not. Okay, so ground the hands down, lifting the hips up like you would for a down dog. Spread the fingers, knuckles pressing down. Feel the shoulders move towards the ears as you push away from the mat. And then just slowly stepping the feet up a little bit high. It's more challenging if you start too low. And you only want to have the feet as high as your hips. And then straighten the legs out, feet hip width apart. Feel your hips moving over the shoulders. If there's strain in your neck, look to the wall. Otherwise, look to the hands. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you come down 1 foot at a time, please don't land straight down on your knees. Take a deep breath. If you need to child's pose it, child's pose it. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk the feet up, walk the feet down, but you're only walking the feet up as high as your hips. You're not going into a full handstand. Okay, so hips up and shoulder width apart. Feel yourself pushing away from the mat, and just little steps up and down, up and down, and then just trying to alternate the feet, just walking the feet up, walking the feet down. If you need to take a few small steps, take a few small steps. If it's easy for you to just 1 step up, 1 step up, breathe. And slow it down if you need to. Don't have to go up this fast. And rest, child, cleansing breath. Always listen to your body. Your body will tell you when it's time to take a break, when you need to back off, when you need to pause the video and then carry on. Okay, then we're going to move into our L shape, but this time you're going to extend 1 leg up towards the ceiling. So ground the hands, lift the hips, walk the feet up like we've practiced, straighten the legs out, hips over the shoulders, 1 leg up towards the ceiling, point the toes, tuck the bum in, breathe. And change sides. Again, when you come down, one leg at a time, resting your child. Also, after any inversion, it's great to do a child's pose stretch. Otherwise, if you stand up too quickly, you can get a head rush. Roll the wrists if you need to, if you're feeling a little bit of tension in the wrists. Take a cleansing breath. And slowly coming up. Now we're going to turn around to face the wall. So making your way quite close to the wall, it's important that your wrists are in line with your elbows. Most people tend to lean the hands in towards each other. So try to keep them apart, elbows under the shoulders. As you lift the hips up, the wall is there for support. So I do encourage you to use the wall just for safety reasons. So if you kick up too hard, you don't fall down on your back. Now we're going to start with the right leg going up towards the wall, but then we're hugging our left knee into our chest at the same time. So think of your hips lifting up, bending the left knee towards the chest and down. Right leg up, left knee towards the chest and down. If your elbows start to move out, just correct yourself. Hands are apart. Up and down. Try not to land on your face. Keep those shoulders strong, spreading those shoulder blades. The wall's there. And rest. Stretch it out. Cleansing breath if you need to. And then what we do on one side, we must do on the other. So this time kicking the left foot up, hugging the right knee towards your chest. Strong shoulders, strong foundation, and take your time. Slow, controlled, holding if you can. Getting comfortable with being upside down. And just one more time. And stretch it out, rest it out, cleansing breath. Relaxing the shoulders, rolling the wrists if you need to. Now we're going to do a very similar movement, but instead of hugging the knee into your chest, you're going to keep both legs straight. But don't try to bring the legs together yet. Keep them apart so you can create what you would call an L shape in the legs. Okay, elbows under shoulders, hands shoulder width apart. Ground the hands, spread the fingers. Spread the shoulders, lifting the hips. Walk your toes towards you. If you start with your feet too far apart, you're going to have to kick much harder to get the shoulders, your hips over the shoulders. So the closer your feet can be towards you, the less effort you have to make kicking up. So straight legs, just hopping up. Keep the core strong, floating the legs up. Don't try to bring the legs together. Just breathe. Get comfortable as you can. Work on straightening up both legs, even touching the wall. And then rest. And then moving over to the other side, always make sure you do both sides. So toes towards you, strong foundation, strong shoulders, and slowly hop, keep the legs straight. Breathe. And down. Float top. Also this helps to learn how hard you need to kick to get up. If you don't kick hard enough, there's not much lift off. And then resting when you need to. Soften the shoulders, cleansing breath. And then last but not least, the full handstand. So we're going to do the same that we just did with our legs straight. This time try to bring the legs together. The wall is there, so you can start just by getting the legs to the wall. From the wall, slowly floating them away. Using your quad muscles, tucking the bum in. When the legs are against the wall, it is going to create a banana shaped back, which you want to slowly correct. Using the core, the quads, the glutes, and also your hands pressing down, forearms pressing down. So getting that right shift and weight of balance. So starting quite close. If you're too far away, then it's more of a banana shaped back that you have to correct, which can be harder. So closer is better. Deep breaths. Checking your shoulders over elbows, hands apart. Lifting the hips, tippy toes. Walk the feet close towards you, pushing away from the mat. Looking between the forearms. Slowly kick the right leg up towards the wall first if you need to. Let the left leg follow. Point the toes. Don't push away from the wall with the feet. Use your quads. Engage the glutes. Breathe. When you need to come down, floating one leg down at a time. And rest for a few breaths. Rolling shoulders if you're starting to feel it. And changing sides. Tippy toes, straighten the leg, leveling the hips, pushing away from the mat. When you're ready, start with the leg close to the wall. Straighten the right leg, bring the right leg towards the left foot, tucking the bum in, engage the quads, and moving slowly away. If you come down, it's okay. Just come back up. Breathe. And just keep practicing. But listen to the body. It will tell you if you need to take a break. One side normally feels different to the other. And also if you start to get tired, it starts to get harder. So before that feeling of frustration enters, rest. Child's pose. Cleansing breath. And slowly sitting up, holding your elbows behind your back, and just allowing the breath to move back to its natural rhythm, which should be deep and slow. And also accepting that some days you'll be stronger than others. Some days your balance will be completely off. That happens, and it's okay. Just trying again tomorrow. And releasing your arms, making your way for legs up the wall, the more relaxing kind. You can start by sitting sideways against the wall. Lowering down into your forearms, lifting the legs up. Using your elbows to lift your glutes up closest to the wall. You want to be as close as possible. And relaxing. Leveling the toes. Turning your palms to face up. Softening into the shoulders. And connecting with your breath. Simply noticing, not trying to control. Allowing it to flow. Noticing the feeling and the sound. The rise and the fall. Softening the space between your eyes. And then just stretching your arms over the head, relaxing the shoulders down, palms facing up. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels good for you. And holding your elbows above the head, bending your knees out to the sides, feet together, moving those knees closer towards the wall. And releasing the arms, a spinal twist. So just bring the knees together, let the knees fall to one side as you look in the opposite direction. Relaxing the shoulders. And moving the knees over to the other side, looking in the opposite direction. And rolling on your back, lifting the legs up for Shavasana, which we'll do in this pose, just with our legs up the wall. Turning your palms up, letting go of the fingers and the toes, closing your eyes. Softening the face, the temples, the jaw. Relaxing the tongue away from the top of the mouth. Softening your throat and chest. Letting go of the shoulders, the arms, the hands and all the fingers. Relaxing into your chest, belly, hips. Letting go of the thighs, the knees, the calves. Softening into all your toes. Allowing yourself to feel relaxed, released and opened. And you can stay in this pose for as long as you like. Or you can hug your knees into your chest. Gently opening the eyes. Rolling onto your side as you meet me in seated. Thank you for allowing me to guide you in this practice today. Namaste.